Previously on Callin'Em Out.
They're ready.
They got this year. They're gonna be ready. Next year, they have to win it all. Oh, they're gonna be really good. They're gonna be the team to beat.
Well, who's on the mound, dude?
Oh well,
We got to talk
they
about
have to
this.
play it.
This is what wins.
Well,
Yeah,
sometimes you got to score runs.
that's right.
You got to
That's
score
right.
because that's what happened with Carver
Especially
Hall.
2-0 in the championship
Carver
game.
Hall
You
got
gotta
pretty
only score
good.
two.
Carver Hall got pretty good. Yeah, I know. Carver Hall
Sometimes
got pretty
it's
good.
Spalding, you only need
but
one.
they couldn't not. Yeah, well, Spalding cannot hit lefties. The last 2 years, lefty have given a lot of problems. I'm gonna give you an idea. All coaches, Spalding cannot hit lefties.
What?
That's
You
it.
think?
I think I can prove it. You can see it. That's it. They can.
Do you?
If I got a lefty that I have never thrown, I bring all my lefty from JB and I'll throw it against Spalding. Can Nathan Wines and Jagger throw strike
We'll
constantly
see.
more than
We're gonna-
more than 3 or 4 innings?
We're gonna see.
Because they haven't had the load. To go 5, 6 innings. Parker was a beast since he was a freshman.
Parker,
that he can go 6, 7 innings.
Parker was on the mound.
Cody Sherman was the same. He can go
That's
6 or
right.
7. Can they go? These guys, can Nate and can Jake
We're
go
gonna see.
the distance? That is what is going on.
Is Spalding
this year.
deep? Is Spalding deep enough to where they can go 5, 6 and we can close?
Oh yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I'm going right away with the calling them out. I mean that MIAA. Have you seen that page?
I have.
The MIAA, the Twitter page or whatever. Do you follow it?
I followed it. Yes.
All right. Do you know who runs that?
I don't.
Do you have an idea who run it?
I do.
Because I told them that I told you I was gonna give you 1 week. We know who you are now. I was suspicious, right? Because that's a good page.
It is a good page.
I think that they got a really good information, but not mention Joe Palumbo and don't giving them that number 1. I take offense to that. Yeah, that was a really good intro. Thank you for the intro. Thank you. Welcome to Calling Them Out. Tonight we got Matt Jagger on the controls again. We are with Tommy O'Farrell back there. Jake Jagger with a really good opinions yesterday, 5 innings. He told me that he's gonna go more than 5 innings just to shut. Well, I'm not gonna say the word that he used, but Nathan Waynes and Jake Jagger, they proved they can go 5 innings. And today we got a special guest that I got the pleasure to coach with him. A lot of battles with him. He's one of the few coaches that I respect in the nation. Joe Palumbo, Spalding High School. Been there since 2013. In 10 years, 5 championships, and 4 kids. My first question to you: where do we miss 1 championship, 1 kid? I mean, is a kid per championship, or are we stopping there?
No, Mrs. Coach and I said a while ago that was not going to be the case.
Really?
Because we plan on winning a few more, and I think, God willing, we are good with 4 children, but they are definitely along for the ride with us, and it's awesome to share it with them for sure.
Okay, Joe. Thank you for being here and calling them out. I brought you here because MIA Conference, they have a page there. And I know that you don't care what people said about you, but I took offense on that because you have done a really good job with Spalding for the last 11 years, right? 5 championships with them. You brought the team of the decade. You did a really good job with that. Last year, you won the championship. With the team that you have, I know that you have Parker, you got Cody, you got really good arms, but you form a team, a defense, you form a team on offense that the guy couldn't hit, but you manufactured a lot of runs. The way that you coach that team was for you to deserve the Coach of the Year? I know that BSN gave you the Coach of the Year, but the National Coaches Association or the Maryland Coaches Association didn't give you that, and I took offense to that also. So my first calling them out is gonna be to them. All right, I think that you missed the boat. I was in that gala, really good gala, really good job on that, but I think that you missed the boat. The job that you did with that team for that second championship was amazing. You want to talk a little bit about that team last year and what was special about them?
Yeah, well, I think it was, obviously our pitching got a lot of the headlines and deservedly so. Parker was dominant for really 2 years, but last year was a special year for him, and obviously Cody, being the number 2. But from an offensive perspective, yeah, we had to, get creative and figure out a way to score runs, and we did a few things unconventional. A 4-hole hitter did not look like a typical 4-hole hitter. Yeah. We first playoff game against John Carroll, we have our 4-hole hitter up and we're suicide squeezing to make sure we get 1 run early to kind of get us some confidence, get us some momentum, knowing that our pitching was going to be, carry us to 7. So, it wasn't your prototypical, big banger lineup, but at the high school level, you have to coach what you have. Yeah. We're not given full scholarships. We don't have, NIL money, so we're not necessarily always getting every player that we want. There's a lot of good high schools in this area, a lot of good high school baseball programs in this area. So, every year we get a good group of players that want to be at Spalding. They want to be coached hard, and sometimes they're going to be speed guys, sometimes they're going to be power guys, sometimes they're going to be pitching and catching, and we have to figure out what we have every given year and coach them up and play to our strengths. And sometimes it's small ball, sometimes it's going to be, for us, every time it's going to be pitching and defense. Yeah. And then, try to mix in some big bats every now and then to, make it, a little bit different throughout the lineup every now and then.
Last year was really challenging for you, and I thought that championship, the championship you deserve to be the Coach of the Year. This year is a totally different ballgame, right? Powerhouse, top 15 in the nation, got 4 guys, throw over 90, everybody talking about. You are the guy to beat this year. Early on this game, you face 95 right away with Miles Upchurch, that he looked really good. I mean, he was kind of shaky, but they get into really good counts and they show really good patience. Then we saw the game against Georgetown Prep that then, like I said here, lefty gave it a problem, when they bring that lefty. Of course, lefty from the other side throwing upper, lower 90s or whatever is difficult no matter what, right? What are the adjustments that your offense had to do this year to be a championship team caliber team?
I think there are a lot of high expectations to kind of address that. There's high expectations. I think there's high expectations at Spalding every year because that's what we put on ourselves. Yeah. So I don't think any outside pressure is going to influence us because our standards are super high at Spalding. The way we run our practices, how we play the game, how we approach the game, how we act in school, like the standards are extremely high. So that doesn't concern me necessarily. The second part of your question, we are very inexperienced. A lot of the guys in our lineup right now did not play consistently last year. So we have to make sure that they are up to speed, make sure that they know the expectations offensively, make sure they know that we have to adjust approaches, we have to take what the game gives us. Having said that, I think we got a really talented group, and I think that this might be one of the deeper offenses that I've ever coached at Spalding. And I'm really excited to see kind of how the season play out. Who are those, the consistent 9 to 11 guys that win their jobs? And to be honest, that remains to be seen. We have a lot of talented players, and some of our younger players are making my life very challenging right now.
The problem is you just said 9 to 11. That's not the case. You
can only put 9 on the lineup.
You got 13 or 14. Really good the depth chart, that because even the youngest one that you got, Anthony Vadillo, can actually take care of that third base, and he will do a really good job there, or any case on any part of the infield.
Yeah,
You
but
know, so-
I think what anybody listening out there, high school baseball is very different than youth travel baseball. It's
Yeah.
very different than travel baseball and showcase baseball. When you get to our level, you only get to fill out 9 names on the lineup card, and at our level, in our league, in our program, it's competitive. And if you don't win that job, you have to find a role to get on the field some way. So again, early in the season, we have to figure that out. That's part of what this week is about: playing really good teams, seeing really good arms like Miles, seeing really good teams like Georgetown Prep and St. Albans and LaSalle today. It's to see what weaknesses are exposed, if any. Can we fix those quickly? And who are going to be the guys that step up in those situations and give us the chance to win a championship in May?
Yeah, that's one of the things that I love about your program, because you don't back down of really good competition, right? I've seen a lot of other teams. I'm not talking about anybody here, but some of the other teams have a really weak schedule because they don't have the talent that maybe to win, or they're afraid to
Calling them
have
out. They calling them out.
Well, John Carroll, DeMatha, to be honest with you, they're not having really good schedules, or really strong schedule. Nothing against them. They're a really good team. They're talented, but I think that they could be playing better teams right now. So it's not. I'm not calling you out, DeMatha or that. But to be honest, your schedule has to be better for next year. You got it. Your players deserve better competition than that. Let's change subjects now. You have coached really good, talented teams over your career, right? What is the best Spalding team that you have coached? I'm gonna put you. Hey, this is there's 3 questions that if I don't ask you, the kids are gonna kill me, right? Because I got Tyler, Billy, and the guy that Caleb and all the guys that have worked.
Yeah.
So which one? And it just one. You cannot go with.
I know.
Yeah.
So
with
you
that.
asked me about my 4 kids. That's like asking a parent who your favorite child is.
No, I understand that. I mean,
We all
I
have one,
understand
Joe.
that. But
Mine are all still young, so I haven't gotten there
But
yet.
I'm calling you out quick. I mean, who is the best version that you have? I know your answer because I know.
Do you?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's hard to argue with the 17-0 perfect record in the
Oh, my
MIAA
goodness,
conference.
That's
2022.
I
It's hard to
never
argue,
said-
and
I've never seen a team better.
the
than that.
2016 team even acknowledges that.
Yeah.
And 15 and 16. I loved 14 because that year nobody expected us to win.
14
right?
was because you
No-
got a crazy Puerto Rican with you, bringing a lot of energy, new things, a new program, and that year was fun. That
It was
year,
fun. It was fun.
they
and-
sucked. They were not good players. They were really talented, and they bought into the program. The execution of that 2014 team was amazing.
It was. And
I
they were,
mean,
it was
they-
a fun group to coach. And like I said, we've won when nobody expected us to win. We've won when everybody expects us to win. So it provides us different challenges. So that was fun, obviously. But again, 17-0 in the MIAA conference. I think it's
2022
been done maybe once or twice before, but it's hard to argue that. So.
No,
it's not to say it's-
I think that was the year that you got Biner doing a really good job with the pitchers, looking in. Tommy start to show, the progress that he has done as a coach on the field with the scout reports. He is putting everything together. 2016, what I like about that team, that those suckers will kill for you. They were
each other
higher
and
guns,
us.
yeah.
And, yes, yeah.
There were something like I haven't seen a union like that for the 2016 team, but the 2022 team was just impressive. The way that they round the bases, the way that they feel, the way that they attack, the way that they went, the confidence.
Yeah.
That they went like nobody is gonna beat us tonight.
Well, they were confident. I always kind of talk about expectations, right?
Yeah.
We expect to win the game, but they not in a cocky way, and we have done the work.
Yeah.
We are prepared if we play to our abilities, and to have no off days in that league and go 17-0 and finish it off in the playoffs, that's the kind of notch in the belt loop that kind of puts them over the top of everybody else, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But that 2016 was super talented, super competitive. The brotherhood on that team was fun to be around. I think 22 shared some of those aspects too. And yeah, it was fun to go to the park every day coaching both of those teams.
Good. The next question would be, I get a lot of kids here that they want to know what they have to do to get into Spalding. What Coach Palumbo likes in a player.
Well, first of all, you got to be a good student. You have to enjoy academics. You have to want to work hard in the classroom. You have to want to work hard. Everybody says, well, you have to be super talented to go to Spalding. And again, I'll kind of revert back to, some of the players we had on our team last year. Luke Sanborn is the guy that I mentioned earlier, hitting our 4-hole. Luke, love you, man, but he came into Spalding maybe 4'11", maybe.
That's true.
He could, barely hit the ball out of the infield. And he was a two-sport athlete. By the time he was done playing athletics at Spalding, I think he won 3 championships, maybe even 4. He played hockey too.
Yeah.
And he just grinded, and he did everything that we asked him to do. He learned how to bunt. He learned how to play elite outfield. He learned how to put the ball in play with 2 strikes and move runners. So while the Josh Moylans of the world and Tyler Blooms stick out at Spalding, there's room for anybody at Spalding to help us win if they want to be coached hard, if they want to be part of something special. If you can bring some sort of attribute that is valuable to any organization, teammate, friend, competitor, there's a place for you at Spalding, and we will use you.
Well, that will be on every team, right? And the third question that this is they're gonna kill me for this one, but they wanted me to, sorry, Tommy, what is your best memory of Tommy as a player? Tommy, sorry, but those are your 2016 kids, man. So,
so here's I'm gonna go a different route with this. So there's 2 stories.
Yeah.
The first time I coached baseball in the state of Maryland, I went to a tryout. It's a 13 tryout for South Maryland 13 year.
Oh, he was Vermilion and and Tommy's dad. Yeah.
I was just watching them throw, and I was just watching Tommy warm up, and the ball, he'd have to miss the ball, he'd run and go get it, have to throw it back, his partner would miss it, he'd run and go get it, and it took them like about 20 minutes to get warmed up. I said, man, I'm not sure this guy has a future in baseball. Yeah. But having said that, he, again, found his niche, and he worked very hard to be able to play baseball at Spalding for a couple of years, and then learn the game on such a level that he's now a very respected high school baseball coach in this area. The other thing I will say in high school is one of my favorite things about Tommy is he got out of his comfort zone and decided to play basketball his senior year.
True.
And he probably played for one of the toughest coaches in the country. He played for Derek Lewis, and
he lost a lot of weight that year. I remember that. He was in shape, and he actually I never seen that year. I saw Tommy really fast actually for the first time.
And I thought that was awesome. And that to me spoke a lot about his character and his willingness to work hard and help a team out in any way that he could, and he did. He went down and banged in the paint with some big dudes in the MIAA conference and gave them good minutes, and I thought that was awesome.
Good. Your years of playing with Maryland, right? I got a kid right now that is with San Diego right now, and he's going through the same thing that you went. You started center field with Maryland, and then you end up being the shortstop for Maryland. By the way, Johnny Paz, Jimmy, they made it really good to Portland, so they did really good. So I talked to them today, and they were really impressed with the arms, of course, with Jake, and I told them, hey, I hope that they don't get to you. I hope that I'm a pro guy, so I'm not a college guy. So I hope that they sign and see them. But they were really happy with that. What is the hardest thing? And you play a high caliber, you're a high caliber coach, but also as a player, you were really competitive. Doing that transition, how hard is it? Because you're an athlete. I mean,
Yeah.
you move really good. You got really good arm. I don't know how to hit it because I never seen your power, but but they
Minimal,
said-
but there.
yeah,
Minimal, but there.
Minimal there. Yeah. Okay. So what is the hardest thing for these kids right now? Because it's not the same the NCAA that it was back then on your days and how they're playing it right now, right? On your days, how you make it out to play that center field spot and as a freshman being or sophomore being on that lineup, and what they have to do now to accomplish that.
Yeah. I think it starts with the mentality. Like, I'm willing to play. So, like I said, we have 25 to 27 guys on our roster right now.
Yeah.
Right? You only get to fill out 9 guys in the lineup card. So my mentality was always, I will do whatever I have to do to get in that 9. And, yep, I was a shortstop. I loved playing shortstop. I actually loved playing catcher. I had a rude awakening when I was 13 years old. My favorite position was catcher. And the team that I played, we had another really good catcher, but we did not have another really good shortstop. So my dad said, "You're not a catcher anymore. You're going to play the position that I need you to play." So I played shortstop. And so that kind of mentality just stayed with me, is like, I want to play. So, yeah, early in my career at Maryland, the coach, here's what I did. During batting practice, I went to left field, and I went out and caught every ball that I could because I wasn't starting at the time.
Yeah.
And I knew there were some guys that were struggling in the outfield hitting-wise, and I knew if I went and showed that I could do it, that he would be willing to give me a chance. And, he came up to me and said, "Do you think you can do that in a game?" And I lied to him, and I said, "Yeah, absolutely, definitely."
Of course, you want to be in the lineup.
So I want to play in
yeah.
the lineup. And, my first game out there, first fly ball, I was shaking in my boots, but I caught it, and it just kind of relaxed me, and I started, I think, over 50 or 60 games in the outfield at Maryland in my career because I wanted to play. I would rather play left field every single day of the week than play shortstop once. So that was my mentality because I am a competitive person. I love being a team, but I wanted to play, and I was willing to do whatever I had to do, and you just got to learn. So I would just tell young players at practice, there is no such thing as like downtime. If you're out in the outfield shagging, do it with a purpose. If you're doing base running, do it with a purpose, because the coaches are watching. They're watching everything. They notice everything. They notice effort. And, your opportunity to first get on the field at a high school level might be as a pinch runner. It might be as a defensive replacement. And if you do that well, then you're going to get, more opportunities to do other things. So always take advantage of the reps that you're going to get in practice to be ready for the games.
So how are you preparing your guys right now to be on this NCAA right now with the NIL, transfer portal, all that the freshmen are not getting the play that you gotta be a superstar or a pro guy that didn't get any luck or didn't get the money that they wanted on the draft to be able to play. How are you preparing your guys and what is the best advice that you can give those guys, because that's the toughest position that you are as a coach right now, because you want them or some of them to play at the next level, the ones that you know that they can do it, and it's really hard how to prepare them for that.
Yeah, I think there's one way to prepare them for it, which is to help them understand no matter how good you are now, there are 30 of you at the next level that were the same player you are in high school. So I think being realistic with them, being honest with them, and if they're not working towards what they are going to next phase of their career, if they're just content being a good high school player, they're going to be in for a rude awakening in college. So being realistic, finding a good fit. I was told by many different coaches when I was being recruited, you should go where you want to go if you couldn't play baseball. Like if you got injured tomorrow and you could not play baseball anymore, where would you want to go to school? I think that was good advice. It helped me decide that I wanted to go to Maryland, to be honest with you, because I had a couple other options, and I thought a lot of other people thought I might go to those options because it was not sure playing time, but it was lower level D1, good coaches, smaller schools. But some of those coaches told me that same thing, and I said, I think I would go to Maryland if I couldn't play baseball anymore. So even though it was a little bit more challenging to get on the field early.
So we're seeing your numbers here. So in 2007, were you using like something? You got 4 homers.
So
did you?
All right, I got a funny story about this actually.
Cornflakes?
No. Yeah, Wheaties. They're Wheaties. Wheaties. So about 3 weeks into the season, I had hit 3 home runs. And obviously, that was out of the ordinary, as you see.
Yeah.
So
that was a really good season, man. 2007 was great.
I had a solid season 2007, and the worst part was I was hitting about 360 about 2/3 away the season, and I slumped pretty hard towards the end, unfortunately. But anyway, we had a mutual, me and my Maryland teammate, we played in the Coastal Plains League that summer. Mm-hmm. So we had a mutual friend, and in that type of situation, you stay close with those buddies, even though they go to different schools, because you bonded for 3 months and had a good summer with each other. So, that guy's had the same name as our athletic trainer at Maryland. So my Maryland teammate texted who he thought was our Coastal Plains teammate, and he said, "Hey, Palumbo's got 3 home runs. I think he might be taking steroids."
Yeah.
So he sent it.
Well, when I saw it, I was like,
he sent it to the wrong person. He sent it to our athletic trainer.
Oh, wow.
So 2 things happened. I had to then take a drug test pretty much every other week after that for the rest of the season. But the worst part of it was I think he jinxed me because I only had 1 more home run.
Oh, really? After that?
Yeah.
So you just stopped taking them?
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's probably what it looked like. But no, I tell you what I did do. And again, young players at home, that summer, in my exit interview after my sophomore year, the coach said, "Hey, we want guys that are going to bang the ball off the fence here."
Yeah.
And off the fence and over the fence. So...
look at that.
So
look at the neck on that guy.
I did not look like that going into my sophomore year of college. And that summer, I had a routine. I would go to the gym in the morning. I would go to work after that. My job at the time when I was playing in the Coastal Plains League, I worked at a plumbing supplies place. Yeah. So it was called Ferguson Enterprises. And my job was to carry the refrigerators and dishwashers up 3 flights of stairs to the top of the kitchens and the beach houses. Oh. So that got me stronger. And then on days that we could, I would go lift after the game too. Because I wanted to play in the lineup. And so if you go back to the stats, I did not strike out very much as a freshman and sophomore. I also didn't hit any home runs and doubles. Yeah. The numbers flipped my junior year. I struck out a ton, but I started hitting the ball off the fence pretty regularly. I hit a few home runs. I was driving in runs. I hit 280. I got on base enough to make up for the strikeouts. So I revamped my offensive approach to fit what my coach wanted me to do. And, the games played speak for itself. I played just about every game that year versus sophomore year, where I think I played about half of them.
Good. Can you take me to how is to be a player for you for the day? What are the questions that I get from my my pre-high school team is what is a day of high school? What I should expect when I go to a St. John or Georgetown Prep or Spalding, what they are expecting to do.
Whole day, school?
Whole day, yes.
So that's going to look different for us. I'll take kind of the fall, and then I'll go through the spring.
Sure.
If you are good with that. So we in the fall, so we at Spalding, you have 7 academic classes a day. And a full lunch period. So there's 8 periods at Spalding. So they are in school. At Spalding, the rigor of the academic curriculum, it varies, per student, and there's opportunities to take really rigorous academic courses, depending on what your strong suits are and what your weaknesses are. But you're looking at a decent chunk of homework every evening for your math and science and foreign language classes. You take theology every day at Spalding, as it's a Catholic school, and then so that runs from 7:50 to 2:35. So in the fall, our typical afternoon will start around 3:15. So we will do either about an hour and a half on the field. Usually we have an offensive focused day and a defensive focused day. And then we'll lift after that. Okay, and then the next day we'll have speed and agility. So let's say that's a Tuesday. We'll speed and agility at 3:15. We might do hitting. We lift 3 days a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday are usually our lift days. We run 2 days a week, and we're allowed 3 hours of baseball activities in the fall to kind of put some things in to drill wise, maybe some plays, but really just work on some mechanics and getting reps in the fall. So we have something going on every day, pretty much after school in the fall, Monday through Friday. The springtime is another animal. School's the same, but we are on the field at 3:15, and this time of year we're pretty much going until dark with daylight savings now. Maybe not till dark now, but we have a limited window to get ready for our season. So we start February 17th is this year I think it was the Tuesday after President's Day, and our first game was supposed to be March 5th. So we got to pack a lot of team defensive work, individual defensive work, obviously getting ready for games, hitting wise, into 2.5 weeks. So, it's a good 2.5 hour practice after school.
3:30.
Yeah, three.
Yeah, I know.
Three. Maybe.
Yeah.
We've been having some other sessions in the classroom to work on some mental strength as well. We try to lift once or twice a week during the season as best we can. So, it's very time consuming. And if you do not manage your time, if you go to a very good high school baseball program, if you don't manage your time well, academics are going to be a challenge.
Yep.
And it's a rude awakening for some people going to high school for the first time because their academics dictate whether they're allowed to play sports. So you have to make sure that you are doing the work in the classroom and making good use of your time to get the grades so that you're eligible to play. And because, this time of year it takes a lot of time to be a good baseball player.
It is. Last question. Who's the best player that ever happened to play for you at Spalding?
Tommy O'Farrell.
Yeah, I'll answer that when I'm done coaching.
Okay. All
I'll
right.
answer that when I'm done coaching.
So
Deal?
thank
You
you
okay with that?
thank you for being with us, Joe Palumbo, Jake Jagger,
Thanks for having me.
Tommy O'Farrell, and our producer, Mr. Mike Jagger. So I'll see you guys. Love you. Take care.
See you guys.
Bye.